Okay, so let's remove a gusset now with our low heat thermal method here. We'll take a fire blanket. We've just had it soaking in water here. And we'll just drape it here to try to contain some of the sparks. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we have done the vertical on one side, about 8 inches of weld. Now we're going to do the bottom part of the gusset on the base plate. Okay, that completes the bottom one side, about 4 inches of weld on the base plate. Okay, now we're going to do the opposite side of the gusset here. Okay, I need to adjust my carbon here just to get a little deeper and adjust our fire blanket here. Okay, that's the vertical on the other side. Okay, we're going to make the last cut on the bottom, across the bottom here. Get our fire blanket adjusted. And there we go. Okay, now you'll notice after the completed cut, there's a bunch of slag that's left here. And most of this, because of the low heating process, stays right here next to the removal groove. It doesn't fly out as sparks. That's why it is so easy to contain the sparks with this low heat carbon air arc process. But let me grab a hammer here. The plate should be loose. Let's try it here. Looks like I missed a little bit here on the end. But there's the gusset removed. And then this slag will clean up very easily. It knocks off quite easily. And then you'll notice that the monopole was not compromised. A little bit of grinding here just to take off the ridge. A little bit of grinding on the bottom here on the base plate. You can see the slag just comes off almost just with me pushing on it. And we've removed a gusset and we haven't done any damage at all. And we were able to get in around the bolts, and the time duration of this whole operation was probably a little less than 5 minutes. And the monopole is not even warm. Well, it's warm, but it's not warm. We are not going to damage the galvanization on the back side. Okay, now to sum up this finished product here, we used 2 carbon electrodes to remove this gusset. There's about 9 inches of weld on either side, about 4.5 inches on the bottom. If you'll notice, this is leftover weld on this side with the monopole, obviously. This is the monopole in between underneath the gusset, and this is leftover weld on this side. No gouging whatsoever into the monopole. We did not compromise the integrity of the monopole. And then also the slag, it just comes right off. It's not an issue. It stays right here and it doesn't go out into the area as sparks. A very controlled, low heat removal process. Okay, and then this is the finished product. We took a worn out flap wheel and we ground just the surface to take the raised weld off. You can see the raised weld still here. This is the finished product. Obviously the galvanization will come off when we do this. We put the new gusset in and we welded. Very simple, very efficient, and does not compromise the integrity of the monopole. Okay, now to sum it up, this is the gusset we removed, and actually didn't do too much damage to the gusset itself. But here's the finished product, ground up. Here's the existing welds that we still need to grind off. And all this took a total of maybe 5 minutes. It took us 5 minutes with a Sawzall and grinder just to get down about 1 inch into this weld. So if you look at mechanical means of removing these, with the amount of dust and grinding grit that grinding these off produce, it's a huge window of spark time, which is much more likely to cause a fire if just because of the amount of time that it takes to do this. And also the amount of grinding dust that we put in the air will be sucked immediately into the electronics cabinets with the air filtration systems, which could compromise the electronics in the cabinets. That's why we think and we propose that this low heat carbon arc process, which all the sparks were contained with just a single wetted down fire blanket, is the efficient and safe and least costly way to remove these gussets off the base of the monopole. Thank you very much.